Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, kind of a strange energy. Things don't feel quite right today. I'm starting to shake. That's new. I mean, that's not. Shaking isn't new for me in the grand scheme. But in this moment, I haven't been shaking, so the fact that I'm now starting to shake is weird. Why did I need to clarify that? Because someone needed to hear it. So I ain't gonna worry about it. And before the intro, I do want to give a clarification, an extra one. I'm using Mystic Mondays today, which is this deck will leave you bald, tear all your hair out, dragging you, like, I don't use this one lightly. If I'm in an emotionally vulnerable place, I literally will not use this deck because it does not hold back and it cuts deep. So just FYI, that's what's going on today. Timeless in general, though. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Whenever you find this, if you resonate with the energy and it makes sense for you, perfectly fine. Consult your own intuition, so if you get an intuitive hit during the reading, take that into account when interpreting your reading, and practice your discernment always. Additionally, I channel in the energy of radical honesty, doubly today because of this. So if you are not here in the energy of radical self-honesty, personal responsibility, and accountability, then this is not the channel for you. You know, I think a little bit every day on it. I don't stress over it, but every day I think a little and then give it back to my unconscious to do work behind the scenes and check in. This is relevant. That's why somehow it is. But about my intro, because I want it to take up as little time as possible, right? But I also need to actually get the information out. I need to make the clarifications. Honestly, I think it's so disrespectful. Some readers who they don't clarify shit like that, and then they bully people in their videos for commenting saying some dumb shit. It's control yourself. Don't need to call them names. They will. I'm the one who doesn't need to call them names, even though I want to. They're it's you didn't clarify though. You need to actually tell people things. You need to have these clarifiers in place, and if you don't, you can't get mad that someone did not fucking know. And that's that's connected to my issue of how do I make it shorter? I don't know how to make it. I don't know if I can. Right? I mean, I could say at the end, additionally, own your shit, but that gets the message across. But not everyone's gonna know that owning your shit means being radically honest with yourself, taking responsibility for yourself and accountability for your actions. Not everyone's gonna understand that. Not everyone's going to have had it clarified to them in a way that they know that that's what own your shit means. So if I actually say it, there's no room for confusion, and people who didn't know before that that's what that would have meant, they can now know. I just wish there was a quicker way to say it without leaving out any important information. You know what? Fuck that. Sometimes, man, I'm having a whole time with myself right now. Sometimes information takes time to communicate. It's okay. We are so time phobic, right? In spirituality, spiritual spaces, because we want everything now, right? It's girl, you gotta practice patience. By the way, I use girl like dude, so for guys and girls. So don't stress or anything. I know most people don't. But again, most people understand that intuitively, naturally, or they've experienced it already. But what if someone didn't know that? What if someone didn't know that? Should I get annoyed at them for not understanding when they didn't know? No, that's stupid. It's stupid to get mad at people for not knowing something. It makes sense to get mad at someone when they know something, but they do dumb shit anyway, or they do bad shit anyway. Knowing what they're doing is wrong. Yeah, King of Swords. But if they don't know, I can't get mad at them. I don't get mad at them, but other people do, and that's the reason. Very young, I was I'm not gonna get mad at people for not knowing things, because it is clearly stupid when these people get mad at me for not knowing something, and being confused and or asking a question. Ooh, we got 5 of Cups. The Chariot. We gotta move on, Bastiana. Nine of Cups. That's the only way to get to the Nine of Cups. High Priestess reversed and Three of Cups reversed, though. I just heard. I just heard my head is underwater. Interesting. Oh, okay. Getting a message. The reason the High Priestess and the Three of Cups are reversed is because there is a time when moving through our issues and confronting our shit and owning, where we lie to ourselves, it's necessary for healing. So no matter how painful it is, we got to do it, but it is deeply painful. But part of that, we're going to be so submerged in emotionality, we're not going to be able to see things, and we're scared not to have our intuition. I know I get scared when when I can't, get info on stuff that's coming. I stress out. But it's like most people don't get any of this info beforehand. Like I'm disproportionate. Everyone's a little intuitive, but I'm disproportionately to most people intuitive. So I'm getting lots of information. So but they're getting through life without all of that. So if they can do it, I can do it. But part of me is so fucking scared to go without my intuition. And someone actually just said something to me recently about stressing about not being able to get any information about future occurrences. Well, no, this isn't going to be just about future occurrences. When we go through this, I'm hearing we're going to be totally blind intuitively. We're not going to know what's going to happen. It's scary, but we have to go through that. I'm seeing a trial of fire. I'm seeing, diving underwater, cave diving, apparently. It's tight spaces. It's difficult. It's terrifying. But because these are all, metaphorical, they're emotional. I mean, the water especially is literally emotion. We're going to be drowning in our emotion, and we have to go through that, and we have to submerge ourselves in that way. But in doing that work, you can't both be above the surface, seeing what's going on, and down in it. So we have to be, I feel like everyone this reading is for is also like me, and you get scared when your intuition isn't giving you anything. Right? Sometimes when we get upgrades, it shuts off while it's happening, same way a computer has to, restart, it's pretty much the same thing. And I'm like, I know this is intuitive upgrade, I know, so I'm not going to stress, but I am so stressing. But it's something, every chance I get to work on it, I work on it. But I'm not perfect there. I'm not perfect there yet. I can admit that. And if you can't admit to yourself that you're terrified of putting your head under the water, of being submerged, and it's a very apparently throat chakras are getting uncrusted. They're coming alive, apparently. I'm hearing engines start to hum. But the Three of Cups is reversed. The High Priestess reversed is you can't see what's going on, you don't know what's on the other side, and you won't know what's going on around you while you're going through the process. It's like a blackout in your intuition. It's like going through a tunnel. But you have to go through it to get to the other side. You can't reach the Nine of Cups unless you dive through the Five of Cups with speed, and during that we go underwater. But anyways, the Three of Cups is reversed. Yeah, someone needed me to clarify that. You're welcome. They just said thank you in their head. So that's why I said you're welcome. Being intuitive is a hoot sometimes. Anyways, Three of Cups is reversed because we can too much coming out at once. If you trip over your words, try not to be embarrassed about that. That's a normal thing. That's literally just our neurology sending things to our mouth at the wrong speed, sending too many what are they called, messages along our nerves or whatever. There's physically a reason you trip over your words when you do. Don't feel shame about it. Can I get to this now? Yes, thank you. The Three of Cups is reversed because no one else can come in your cave diving with you. It's a solo activity. You can't go in you can't dive in someone else's flooded cave, and you're the only one that can do it in your cave. It fundamentally necessarily has to be an isolated experience, and in order to do that, we have to admit to ourselves we're individuated, right? There are a lot of people who are very scared of individuation. They need us all to be one entity pretending with itself, like Super Smash Bros. It's just, officially, they're action figures and it's the kid's hand as the final boss. Like, come on. It's not like that. We're not all one entity pretending to be multiple entities. We're actually multiple entities. We're individuals as part of a whole, but if you can't confront that, and confronting both, yeah, this intuitive ring confirmation, if you can't accept both of those things at once, that you are an individual, and there are some lessons that necessarily, you can hang out with your friends before and after, but not during. There are some things we have to do completely alone. If you can't accept that, and the fact that while you're doing those things, your intuition is also shut off, so you don't know what's going on around you, and if you're like hyper vigilant, like most of us probably are, to a degree, I've made a hell of a lot of progress on that. Like, if you haven't made that progress yet because you think you can't do it, yes, you can. It is, you chip away at it slowly. It really is something you have to do every day to build up, to overcome. Like, basically anything with mental health, you do have to keep up with it to get better. I know it sucks. Again, we don't like that things take time, but they do. And especially, ironically enough, just what some people say, spiritual things especially take time. Because how long something takes, there's this, I don't want to get all spicy with it, but that's the word I'm hearing, this lie that time is a human invention. Now, there are specific conceptions of time that are human, and they're not totally correct. But the fact that there is a dimension of time and that things happen either concurrent or before or after, and they are placed along that line, and things take a certain amount of time, they have to go a certain amount of distance along this axis, this fourth dimension, right? 3 dimensions of space, 1 of time. That really is there. Things are really happening with what we call time. Sure, we can argue all day about what the specific conception is. There is a dimension. Things happen in an order through time. If you can't accept that, you are spiritually bypassing, and we don't do that shit on this channel. And I again, radical and honest, I'm not going to pretend that that's okay because it's hurting you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you kidding me? I looked at the clock and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy crap. Or the not clock, the video time. But yes, King of Swords, we have to be... It looks to me like he's stepping up out of the water onto like a glacier or something. And glaciers are ice, which is solidified water, emotion. Like, he's in this shit with the Sword of Truth. He went diving. There's penguins off screen in my mind's eye for this card. He's in is it Arctica? Arctic is the north, Antarctica is the southern one where the penguins live. Yeah, so he's in Antarctica. Some people have strong associations between north, south, east, and west, like the directions mean something to them. And it being the south, emotions and south, that specific, is going to mean something for you. I don't really have any association with direction, but I know some people do. Yeah. Sorry for someone's bubble I just burst. That it doesn't matter unless it has an association for you. We feel better when we think our associations have this objective value that everyone reacts the same way to. No, it's just our associations. The color doesn't have an intrinsic... aside from the fact that it has like a wavelength that it actually is, right? But the emotional, what it triggers in each of us, what it brings forth, there might be some trends, but each individual can have a completely different association for each color, and it will work. If you say use green because you intend healing, but they associate green with terror, and they associate purple with healing, right? If you're using color in like a ritual, say, what we should really say is use color that you associate with this. You can say what your color is, you can say what the typical color is. If someone doesn't know, this is the typical one, but if someone has a specific different one, it does not damage anything to use their association with their ritual, because it's the association, what it's associated with, that the power is coming from. These are just these are just tools to get us there. Even with cards, some people are like, those cards have power. No, they don't. It's our relationship to them, and that we're using them as tools. I mean, they have, in a way, you could say everything has power in it, but like, they are just cards. Someone who is not intuitive and not using them to read will not be accessing any powers, you know? Okay. So yeah, and then after that, it's the Five of Cups, which is learning to appreciate the ones you still have, moving on as well. I just heard, oh, and then my heart sank. I'm sorry that this is just such a painful process for you, but growth is pain. Pain is not growth, but growth is pain. That's that's another thing I just realized earlier. Like, it crystallized in my mind. One of the reasons that abusers cause so much pain is they want us averse to growth, because it's growth that causes us to value ourselves and hold them to account. So they want us scared of pain because pain is necessary to grow. Don't let them win. You can take it. Now, don't push yourself too far, but you can push yourself farther than you think. Push yourself slowly past what you think your limit is. Don't try and brute force it. You slowly push at your limits. The same way you increase your strength. Like with weightlifting, you slowly push it. You're not overdoing it to the point that your muscles explode, but you want to strain them, right? We got to do that with ourselves and putting ourselves out there and putting our, doing uncomfortable things like working our energy and our emotions. You push it slowly, and you will find out, while proving to yourself that, oh, I had self-imposed limits that were not my real limit. We do have limits. Our actual limit also goes up as we strengthen, but our perceived limit is usually much lower than our actual limit. And especially if you've been abused before, and if you're here, you're probably intuitive in some way, shape, or form, as in more so than the average. Everyone is intuitive, but y'all know what we mean when we say someone is an intuitive. It's not that others don't have intuition, that we call the ones who have more intuitives. Okay, what is this? Six of Cups reversed. Yeah. So the issues here are beliefs from childhood that need to be worked through. But Chariot, and look at her. Hands up, flying through the sky. Come on. Right into that Nine of Cups. And this is such a wonderful Nine of Cups. That's one good thing about this deck. It will drag your ass hard. You will not feel good afterwards. But when a good message comes out, it's like, because it's such radical truth, it won't fluff shit up. Nine of Cups is here because it's Nine of Cups. That's a real Nine of Cups. And but the only way to get there, the only way through it is through it. We can't go over, we can't go around, we can't go under. We got to go through the emotional issues. We have to dive through our flooded cave system. And these spilled cups are things from the past, accepting that we can't go back and change anything. We can only change what we do now. And that just because our life kind of sucked before doesn't mean we can't have a wonderful one now and appreciate it. Oh, it is tough to accept that it happened, but once you accept it, it's like you're freed, and you can just start appreciating those cups and getting new cups filled up. Because when you're not accepting it, you're not able to honestly hold out your cup for another to share their energy with. And you're not really open in a way that allows you to share energy with others as well. God. Growth really is pain. I think I have to keep it kind of vague because it's going to be so different for everyone. Because, I'm trying to tap into it, but I keep hitting roadblocks. I can only say vague things, like childhood things. I can't get into any specifics. Okay. Last messages before we go. The Moon and the Devil. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What is under this? The Ace of Pentacles. In the shadows, you're blocking yourself with the devil, and behind those self-defeating thoughts is the Ace of Pentacles. Come on now. Come on now. You're going to realize something soon about self-defeating beliefs. If you do this. What's this? Princess. Yeah, Ace of Swords. No. Girl. Page of Swords. But it's giving Ace of Swords as well. Princess of Swords in this deck. But it's Page. Which is my student card. But like, look at that. She's got the Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth, and then there's light. This is learning the hard, harsh truths. And some of those hard, harsh truths are that we impose limits on ourselves that aren't really there. It's not that there aren't limits. It's that we think they're much lower than they are when we can take a lot more. And you can always increase your limits. But again, slowly push it, slowly strengthen it the way you slowly increase your strength weightlifting. Oh my goodness. She's given, yeah, Five of Swords reversed under that. Like, things are getting cleared up. Is this not giving iceberg? What was I saying? What was I saying with the King of Swords? And it's giving Naked Before the Stars. It's almost like day is a veil. You can't see all the other stars in the sky during the day, but they're still there. You just can't see them because there's too much light. Too much nearby light from the sun, which is itself a star. In the same way, all the other ones are stars. They got their own planets. We are not so special and unique. We are unique, and we are special because we value ourselves, and but not in the over-bloated way some people want to be. And if you can't accept that, you can't learn the truth, because it is fundamentally against the truth. And any belief fundamentally against the truth will hold you back from it. People will wonder for years and years and years why they can't make progress, and it's like, because you won't let go of this belief. It's like, have you seen videos of dogs with a huge stick trying to go through a door, and they just keep ramming it? Like, why can't I bring the stick through? And they don't understand it. It's giving that. Like, stop trying to bring that damn stick in, and you can come in. Okay. Oh, we're getting messages from the skull. I don't know how these are going to pair with this deck. Like, I feel like it's going to really rip us a new one. Hopefully in a good way. Let it be growth, not just senseless pain. Of course, it always is, but y'all know what I mean. We got leak. There's a leak. Oh, you're trying to like plug up your emotional issues, but a little bit always leaks through. That drip ain't gonna stop until we process the emotions. We got bridge. Yeah. You're the only one that can cross your personal bridge into your inner world. We got Sagittarius. Okay. Either or reversed. There is only one way. There are infinite ways to be wrong. There's only one way to be correct. Now, we can be partially correct about something, but if something is wholly correct, there's only one way that it looks. But there are infinite ways to be wrong. We got turnaround. Sometimes we put things behind us, and then we say it's not there. It's something you put out of your mind into your shadow that you need to confront, and confronting it is going to be what this flooded cave diving is going to be. You have to choose to do it. You really do. You have to choose to confront it. It won't just happen. Down. Yeah, and I was saying head underwater, like and cave diving. This is all going down in, going away from everything else, not being out in the open, not knowing what's going on, being confused in a confined space, like, and we have all these negative associations. Like I, people really need to learn to appreciate that we got to take a trip to the underworld sometimes. Sometimes we got to go through the harsh things and deal with the pain and the darkness. We have to sometimes. Same reason and way this the seasons cycle. We have to. We can't ignore that part of life. We got Long, and Long has fell on Nine of Cups. I just heard long time fulfillment. Stepping into, rather than just something that placates us in the moment, moving into something truly long-term fulfilling. Truly fulfilling, not just making us feel fulfilled, but actually fulfilling. And the only way there is by going through it, confronting this thing we put behind us and we don't look at. Last message. Pull back. I'm seeing someone with their face pressed up against glass. Like you can see into the room where your Nine of Cups is, but you don't want to confront the fact that you have to walk down a hallway to get there. There is no door from this waiting area that goes directly to the Nine of Cups and bypasses this. We actually have to do the work. We have to confront our issues, our emotional struggles. And that also requires patience. If you're chomping at the bit, you need to pull back. You know, that's something I work on and have gotten better at, but I still got, a way to go with every time my intuition is down. I'm like, chomping at the bit, like, please give me something, I need to know. And it's like, we need to relax sometimes and be comfortable not knowing. Ooh, there we go. We gotta be comfortable not knowing sometimes. One more. Harmonious. I'm hearing an orchestra and it's all good, and then there's just one person going crazy on the horns way too fast. It ain't in tune. It's just like like that's what I'm hearing. It's like there's all this beautiful music and then that, and it's like you trying to force it is akin to that. You have to work with things. That means playing with the orchestra. It has to be harmonious. This is wild. Anything else? I think this. Yep. Synergy. Yeah, it has to work together. Harmonious synergy. Okay, well, I guess that's the end. I hope this reading resonated and was helpful for you guys. If it did resonate and it was helpful, please like the video, comment anything you want, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to see more readings from me in the future. Bye, guys.